If you want awesome products at great prices, check out the in the description. Hash a world on the brink. Peace talks, economic turmoil, and the unfolding drama in Ukraine. The world watches with bated breath as the shadow of war continues to loom large over Ukraine. This week, as global leaders convene in the UK, the fragile hope for a ceasefire hangs precariously in the balance. The possibility of a breakthrough, however, seems increasingly remote as Russia and Ukraine remain entrenched in their positions, refusing to compromise. This stalemate carries the significant risk of the United States withdrawing entirely from the peace process, leaving the conflict to fester and potentially escalate further. The shifting sands of diplomacy, high-stakes discussions are underway in London, bringing together representatives from the US, Britain, and France with Ukrainian officials. Originally slated to participate, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio surprisingly withdrew at the last minute, replaced by White House Ukraine envoy Keith Kellogg. This unexpected change adds another layer of complexity to the already delicate negotiations. Adding fuel to the fire, the U.S. news outlet Axios reported a bombshell. Kellogg arrives armed with a comprehensive, potentially final, U.S.-Russia peace proposal. This plan, according to Axios sources with direct knowledge of the proposal, includes the controversial stipulation of official U.S. recognition of Crimea as Russian territory, along with unofficial acknowledgement of Russian control over nearly all areas occupied since the invasion began. This revelation has ignited a firestorm of controversy. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy vehemently rejected the proposal, stating unequivocally that there is nothing to talk about. This violates our constitution. This is our territory, the territory of the people of Ukraine. His strong words highlight the deep chasm of mistrust and the fundamental disagreements that continue to plague the negotiations. The current round of talks follows a dubious 30-hour truce and weeks of intensified Russian bombardment of Ukrainian cities. The Palm Sunday attack on Sumy, resulting in at least 35 deaths, stands as a grim reminder of the human cost of this protracted conflict. The months-long deadlock has fueled growing frustration within the U.S. administration. Last week, Secretary Rubio issued a stark warning, threatening to abandon the peace process altogether if a resolution isn't reached swiftly. "We are not going to continue with this endeavor for weeks and months on end," he declared, emphasizing that the U.S. has other priorities to focus on. This crucial juncture in the peace process prompted an in-depth conversation with Dan Sabag, The Guardian's defense and security editor. His insightful analysis provides crucial context to the current state of negotiations and offers a glimpse into what the coming days might hold. Beyond the battlefield, a global economic storm brewing. While the Ukrainian conflict dominates headlines, significant economic headwinds are gathering force on a global scale. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, issued a stark warning about the devastating impact of Donald Trump's tariffs, predicting a major negative shock to the global economy. The IMF slashed growth forecasts for every major economy, with the UK's projected growth plummeting from 1.6% to a mere 1.1%. This downward trend underscores the far-reaching consequences of protectionist trade policies. Domestic affairs, a tapestry of challenges. Closer to home, several significant domestic developments are unfolding. The UK government's intervention to prevent widespread redundancies at the Scunthorpe Steelworks offers a glimmer of hope, potentially saving up to 2,700 jobs. However, other controversies continue to dominate the news cycle. Republican lawmakers stand firmly behind Pete Hegseth, the embattled U.S. Secretary of Defense, amid scrutiny over his use of the Signal messaging app to share sensitive information regarding U.S. military strikes in Yemen. In the UK, the political landscape continues to shift. Number 10 announced that Keir Starmer no longer maintains his previous stance on the definition of a trans woman. Starmer welcomed the real clarity provided by the recent Supreme Court ruling on gender recognition, signaling a change in the Labour Party's position on this highly sensitive issue. Meanwhile, the UK's health system faces mounting challenges. New data reveal that the number of people in England living with chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS, also known as ME, is far higher than previously estimated, approximately 404,000, representing a staggering 150,000 more cases than originally thought. Europe's role in Russia's calculus, asterisk. Last week's peace talks in Paris, hosted by Emmanuel Macron, highlighted Europe's renewed efforts to play a more active role in resolving the Ukrainian conflict. Macron emphasized the shared desire for a robust and sustainable peace, emphasizing the need for a phased approach to resolving the crisis. These talks suggest that Trump, increasingly frustrated by his inability to achieve a swift and decisive end to the war, is seeking greater European involvement in the negotiations. However, the extent of any tangible progress remains uncertain. Despite Vladimir Putin's public pronouncements on peace, including his willingness to engage in bilateral talks with Ukraine for the first time in years, Dan Sabag notes that Putin doesn't appear particularly serious in his desire. This perception stems from Moscow's continued pursuit of its maximalist objectives, aiming to control all of Ukraine's partially occupied provinces: Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson. A Financial Times report revealed that the Kremlin has indicated a willingness to halt its invasion along the current frontline if the U.S. agrees to recognize Crimea as Russian territory. Ukraine has categorically rejected this claim, reiterating its insistence that negotiations must occur at the negotiating table, not in the media. The comprehensive U.S. proposal, seemingly linked to Trump's threat to withdraw from the peace process entirely, marks a significant shift. For the first time since the early days of the war, Moscow appears to be backing away from its maximalist demands. Beyond the de facto recognition of occupied territories, the Axios report details the proposal's inclusion of assurances to Russia that Ukraine will not join NATO, the lifting of sanctions against Russia, and enhanced economic cooperation between Russia and the U.S. In a previous attempt to pressure Kyiv into accepting a 30-day ceasefire, Trump suspended all U.S. military aid to Ukraine and blocked billions in crucial shipments. The new proposal will likely renew pressure on Ukraine to accept these potentially unfavorable terms. The high stakes of walking away, asterisk. The question looms large: what if the U.S. ultimately withdraws from the peace process? Andrew Roth's analysis suggests that this outcome would be beneficial for Russia regardless. Russia, he argues, is either securing a favorable deal with the White House or waiting for Trump to lose patience. Either scenario strengthens Russia's position, highlighting the inherent risks of the U.S. disengaging from the negotiations. Beyond geopolitics, climate action and the power of public opinion, asterisk. A recent global survey revealed that a vast majority, 89% of people worldwide, want stronger action on the climate crisis. However, many remain trapped in a spiral of silence, believing they are in the minority. Experts interviewed by Damian Carrington suggest that highlighting the widespread support for climate action could trigger a crucial social tipping point, empowering individuals to advocate for change. The State of the Union and beyond. Antonia Hitchens' insightful piece in The New Yorker paints a stark picture of the current political climate in the U.S., suggesting that Congress, controlled by Republicans, primarily serves to flatter the man who lives at the other end of the mall and ratify his edicts. This analysis highlights the deep-seated sycophancy and unwavering loyalty that characterize the Trump White House. Human stories of resilience and loss, asterisk. Jonathan Franklin's gripping account of Pedro Nayada's harrowing experience surviving the 2010 tsunami in the South Pacific offers a poignant reminder of the devastating power of nature and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Reforming the housing landscape, asterisk. Jessica Murray and Robin Vinter provide clarity on the UK government's plan to abolish the leasehold system, replacing it with a common hold system for new builds. Their explanation sheds light on the practical implications of this significant housing reform. The hidden costs of energy theft, asterisk. Jill Ambrose's investigation into the escalating problem of energy theft in the UK reveals its staggering cost to ordinary citizens. Cannabis farms and Bitcoin mining operations are identified as major contributors, adding an estimated £50 annually to every household energy bill. Sporting news, triumphs and retirements, asterisk. In the world of sports, Matthias Nunn's late-game goal secures a crucial victory for his team, while Ben Youngs, England's most-capped rugby player, announces his retirement after a remarkable 127 appearances for his country. A surprising shift in stance by the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St Andrews suggests that Donald Trump's Turnberry Golf Course may once again host the Open Championship. News headlines, a snapshot of global events, asterisk. Major news outlets offer diverse perspectives on the day's events. The Guardian highlights the IMF's assessment of Trump's tariffs, while The Express questions the extent of Trump's responsibility for the UK's economic struggles. The Times focuses on the impact of slave labor on green initiatives, while The Mirror provides a poignant visual tribute to Pope Francis. Other headlines cover the fallout from the Supreme Court sex ruling, the rush for cash ISAs, and the potential for dismissing police officers swiftly. A moment of reflection, the ocean's enduring spirit, asterisk. Antony Gormley's ocean-inspired artwork, created using kelp ink from Sky, serves as a powerful reminder of the ocean's resilience and its vital role in sustaining life on Earth. This project offers a much-needed moment of hope amidst the ongoing global challenges. Puzzles and entertainment, asterisk. For those seeking a mental break from the weight of world events, a quick crossword, a cryptic crossword, and a wordaply puzzle are provided for your enjoyment. This comprehensive overview aims to provide a detailed and captivating account of the critical events shaping our world today, offering a blend of insightful analysis, human stories, and a touch of lighter news to provide balance.